Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and I've got a question for you. Do those at the very top, I'm talking about the globalist democratic arm who is in league with the communist Chinese, by the way, because we know they own a majority here in America, do they want their opposition gone, eliminated, dead? If not, then why is there such a concerted effort of all these groups working against us to ban us from multiple sites that have nothing to do with politics? What am I talking about? Well, let's start with InfoWars' Alex Jones. Months ago, InfoWars was banned from multiple, not only social media sites, but sites that had nothing to do with social media. Check this out. Here's an entire list from InfoWars in which they were banned, the platforms they were banned from. It includes Facebook, it includes YouTube, it includes Twitter, Spotify, and many, many others. But on that list are also a few things that should have never have made the list. I'm talking about LinkedIn. LinkedIn deals with, well, resumes and job qualifications. Or how about Shopify? Shopify has to deal with e-commerce, buying and selling on the internet. Or what about PayPal? PayPal has to deal with sending money to and from people, kind of like that of an internet bank almost, because transactions are made, right? But here we have PayPal banning someone for their political view. Now, the question isn't whether you agree with Alex Jones' InfoWars or not. That's not the question. The question is, why is it okay for PayPal to ban someone for their political view? That's the question. And here's the thing. PayPal, they don't ban criminals. You see, you can be a murderer, you can be a rapist, you can be a pedophile, you can be convicted of multiple crimes, you could be a thief, you could even be a hacker convicted of a hack. And guess what? You're allowed on PayPal. You're allowed to thrive on their platform, but yet someone who has a different view from PayPal or Shopify aren't allowed to be part of their platform? How is it that a political name has been degraded more than, say, your average mass criminal? It doesn't make any kind of sense unless there's a concerted effort by those at the top to eliminate a certain voice. But here's the question. Did it stop at InfoWars? Was it just a one-time deal with PayPal? Absolutely not. They went on to ban Laura Loomer. Yeah, check this out. Here's a screenshot from Laura Loomer's page saying she was banned for, well, hate speech on PayPal. Here we go again. We have another activist banned on PayPal. She's never committed any major murderous crime or is a violent person or has even been convicted of anything violent. Yet she's banned for her political view? When did politics become worse than a murder or a rape or pedophilia? When did it become such a crime? That's my question. Sounds eerily similar to something that happened under Stalin's regime, right? When he labeled his political activists with some kind of mental disorder. You see, same thing's happening right now in America. But guess what? Laura Loomer wasn't only banned from PayPal, she was also banned from Uber and Lyft. Check this report out. This is from thedailyDot.com. Uber and Lyft banned far-right activist Laura Loomer for an anti-Muslim rant. Interesting. So Uber, by the way, she was also banned from Uber Eats, right? Uber Eats and Lyft. What do they have to do with politics? It doesn't really matter what was said, but in all reality, does Uber ban people for being anti-Christian and hating on Christians? Does Uber ban people for being anti-Semitic or against certain things? Do they ban any of that? No. What about, does Uber, okay, let's think of the risk of the drivers in Uber because they should be of utmost concern. They get their background checks, right? The Uber driver has a background check and all of that to make sure the passenger is safe. But you see, Uber allows all kinds of passengers. It doesn't matter if you committed a crime. It doesn't matter if you've raped someone in the past or a murder. Or they don't do a background check of who's in that car, do they? No. Has nothing to do with that. Everyone's allowed. But here, because someone supposedly spoke against one is against Muslims, and I'm not saying it's not right to speak against anyone in that manner, but what I'm saying is because she did something like that, she gets banned. She wasn't being violent, wasn't causing any violence, but yet, why does one voice get censored, but the other side doesn't at all? No one else, just one political voice. Rapists, pedophiles can all ride in an Uber. Can they not? They can all get in and ride, putting the life of the Uber driver at risk. They don't get banned. So who's the worst criminal of all, according to social media and Uber and PayPal and all these companies rising to the forefront to fight hate speech? Well, it's literally become in America more of a crime of hate speech against anyone. And it's not even hate speech. It's a political speech that's being subjected. Political speech has become enemy number one, and I've just proved to you that point. I want to bring awareness to what's really going on, and all I'm asking for is fairness. All I'm asking for is, why don't we focus on the real problem at hand? How about some of the criminality we have in America? How about true love, peace, and happiness, and not attacking one political side for their viewpoint, but everybody understanding that we have differences of opinion? Since when did we become like Stalin's era, to where political activists is enemy number one over any crime? You can rob a bank, and that's less of a crime according to these social media sites. You're worthy to rob tons of banks and still have all these things, social media sites, but lo and behold, if you speak against the globalist, progressive, democratic, liberal arm, you're worthy of being banned from everyday things? How is that fair? People don't get their electricity taken away unless they don't pay their bill, right? People don't get their phones turned off unless they don't pay what's owed to the bill company. People don't get their gas bill shut off unless they don't pay the bill. Why isn't it that way with PayPal? It's understandable if you're not paying what's due on PayPal or paying what you needed to on Shopify, or you didn't pay the Uber driver, or you got violent with the Uber driver, then no more Uber for you. But that's not the case. It's simply your political view, which they're calling and labeling under hate speech. That is how it began. You see, under Stalin's era, they labeled it some kind of mental issue if you were in disagreement with Stalin, you see? So having a political viewpoint became a mental state. And so people were subjected to all kinds of stuff like we're seeing today. But since we have the beauty of the internet, we're seeing it in so many forms and different ways than ever before. So how do we fix it? How do we change things? What do we do? Well, for starters, maybe we could write letters to PayPal. Let them know our feelings and how we believe, you know, suppressing someone for a political view isn't right. Same thing with Uber and Lyft. Why do you ban a political view but not a criminal who could actually put the life of your driver at stake? Good question. And you know, I encourage you, contact your congressmen and senators. Let them start passing bills or making rules or laws, which this needs to stop. We have utilities, and these utilities aren't allowed to turn anyone off with any other reason, really, unless you're not paying your bill. Why are they able to turn us off like that on the internet? For a crime that has not been committed. Just a question, something to think about. And with that, I just want to encourage you guys to like and share the video everywhere. And please don't forget to check out my partner at Virtual Shield, hidewithlisa.com. If you want to keep your privacy and keep your privacy on the internet, one way that you could do that, this is a good solid way, is to go to hidewithlisa.com. They've got 35% off, but it's a VPN, and it basically, whatever you look on the internet while that VPN is on, goes through an entire different system and scrambles your IP address. So So it looks as if it's coming from another computer. And thankfully, hidewithlisa.com at Virtual Shield, they get rid of everything in a 24-hour period. So there is no knocking on the door, let's get a profile of what you looked at. It's all gone. Anyhow, check that out at hidewithlisa.com, and it's 35% off. And please leave any comments below. I'm curious, do you guys agree? Do you not agree? What do you think? Anyhow, love you. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.